So let's start the meeting first. Wait, Bonnie, would you like to take minutes?
I can do it. I can do it.
Brooke?
You've
Okay.
got a dog. I've got it.
Okay. Thank you, Brooke.
All right.
Okay, so first is the call to order and roll call. So I'm here, Brooke is here, Emily is here, and Bonnie is here. And Reed is absent. Andy is absent. I think that's it. So next is our oral communications for items not on the agenda. Does anyone have anything?
I believe that we officially need to welcome Emily now that she's had approval for the committee.
Yes, welcome Emily to the Nature and Science Committee.
Thank you so much. You're so welcome. I'm so excited to be a part of it.
All right, so next is our approval of minutes from November 13th, which is our special meeting to prepare for our Wildlife Awareness Day.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes.
I second the motion.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Minutes approved. All right. So our new business is to discuss the wildlife awareness event status. We have it planned for Sunday, January 25th, 2026. And so far, we have a couple organizations who said that they could come or are coming right now. It looks like Reed joined the meeting.
Hi, Reed. Thanks for coming.
Hi.
Reed.
Hi. Thank you.
I know that the Banana Slug Band I talked to the lead musician, and he was very hopeful that it was going to be able to work for him. He had a question as to whether or not we would be able to help with the AV setup. So helping with finding extra speakers and connections things, because then it would be a lot easier for the band to be able to come. So I need to find out what kind of connection we need or what equipment we would be able to get from local townspeople so that they don't have to bring all of their equipment, and therefore we could get a better price for it.
So that would be great. So far, the town has a screen that we could play the movie on, but we don't have audio.
Okay. So screen, but no audio.
Yes. Hello. Great. The Santa Clara Bird Alliance. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we could have food and snacks at this event. We just need a safety form filled out and sent to the town. So this is completely optional.
Do we need to have snacks? I think
You don't
people bring
have
their
to.
own snacks. That we're going to be so busy. I propose that we do not supply food.
Okay.
Maybe we could do that for next year, 2.0. But I think as of now, we should keep it as simple for ourselves, since we already have such a huge list of items
Okay.
to take care of.
If we did have snacks though, we would be hiring a food truck to come, not ourselves supplying them.
Food trucks most often get very expensive depending on the budget that we're talking about. Food truck definitely has been a big success in past town events. However, we could also, if we make flyers, propose it as almost a picnic for it, And we could have people that like picnic and sit and watch the show that's happening with the Banana Slug Band too.
So if we had food trucks come, what kind of food trucks were you thinking?
Any kind of food truck. So I don't know what the town has had in the past. I did reach out to Darcy and Cindy what food trucks they have had in the past, though.
I think there was one local family that used to have and they came at the to the town picnic. And it was a local family. I'm trying to remember which one it was. Let me think on that. CJ, I'm wondering if maybe we want to say hello to whoever it is that came in. Hi.
I heard my name, so
Hi.
I heard my name, so I decided I'd come up here. But I'm Darcy Smith, town manager, and
Oh, nice to
I'm
meet
a
you.
few minutes late.
Nice to meet you.
There's a lot of activities at the farmers market, but I'm here and I can answer any questions you have.
Okay,
Awesome.
I'm
to meet-
Brooke. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
I'm CJ. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
I'm Emily. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you. And we have a Reed in Zoom.
Yeah, hi. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, yes, I know you, Bonnie, and your dog. Thanks for coming. Toss me any questions you have. Do you want me to provide feedback on the food
So now that
trucks?
I know that you're the town manager, what can we supply if we have a screen, but we don't have any audio hookup?
Mhm.
Does that mean that there's not an infrastructure in the main room
Well,
to
we
be
have,
able to tap into, or does that mean that you don't have the cords to do the tapping? Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
is there not the actual infrastructure? Because I believe at one point there was for
so
sound. Or had it always been portable speakers? And I just didn't
It-
realize it.
no. So the building is almost 20 years old. And I think originally there might have been an audio system.
Mhm.
Certainly there's no like projector in the ceiling or anything. But there might have been an audio system, but it definitely doesn't work now. I think it's just been aging and broke. It's my best guess, or just doesn't function. So two things. One thing you could do is just loud voices, right? I've done meetings in there where, especially if people are seated, you can hear if you get them close to the front. We've had maybe 40 or 50 people in there and you can hear. If you need a really big mic system, we did one when a congressman came. The challenge is it just gets really expensive. So that's a challenge. What you could also look into is sometimes someone might have a portable,
Almost like a karaoke machine. Right.
yes.
Thank you. Amy.
And my guess is someone has that, someone locally, especially if you maybe put out a request on the forum, which I'll just say is a private thing, but you probably would come up with someone. I looked at them on Amazon.com when Sam was coming. And they were like a couple $100, but they just told me, hey, if you got like 200 or 300 people, that's probably not good. Cause I think the capacity of that room is 150. Maybe, but then we were closer probably to 200 then. So then on the video side, if you want to show video, what I would recommend is see if someone has like your outdoor movie setup, right? Where they might have a little projector. We do have a screen. It's not anything fancy, but we definitely don't have any video capability in there.
And we have a projector that we can use for the documentary, but we don't have a loudspeaker. So I'm wondering if we would be able to
Hook
use the
up.
laptop, the karaoke machine, and our projector. And if that could be the sound of it.
I've seen that work, not in that room, but in other settings. Yeah. So if you can set up speakers, that should work. And I think you just have to tell folks like, please don't talk too much, please get close to the front. I think it will work and be optimistic.
But the documentary that we wanted, yeah, exactly. I think that the band, I mean, they're used to performing at the school without, and gathering everyone's attention without there being a huge, AV system. So my guess is that he just had asked, is there equipment from the different musicians in town? If it's gonna be outside, but I don't think we're even gonna need it to be outside because it's gonna be chilly. So if we have it in the conference room, I think that it probably should be loud enough. Okay, so I'm going to volunteer Ryan Coffee for the laptop. I'm going to volunteer Brooke Coffee, Emily Coffee for the projector. And then I'm going to reach out to Sangini for her karaoke machine. And then we can do a test run way ahead of time
Yeah,
and see how loud that gets.
Sangini showed a documentary for the Little League in November. So maybe you could ask her how they pulled that off.
Great.
And if they had any issues.
Wonderful. She always has a speaker in her car. Love it.
Okay, so that covers the technology that we need. And next on the agenda is setting up banners. So I know Andy was going to reach out to REI for event advertising banners. Okay,
Sounds good.
so we would have one over here in the front and then one on the Portola and Alpine
Yeah.
intersection. Okay.
Yep. Bonnie's our banner expert. I do think it's a good idea if we just know where the banner is afterwards, because sometimes whenever it's stored here at the town, we haven't gotten it back.
Yeah, I don't know right now, but we can work on that.
Okay, great. If we just know where it is, so then the next year we can stamp the new date on it and then save, because I believe it was almost our whole budget one year, wasn't it? It was around 500, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So about our budget, we still need to confirm it through Tony, who is the town finance director.
Let's hope that there's at least $500 for our banner.
Oh, yeah,
said-
yeah. So it would be great if we can sit down with you, CJ, not the whole group, and go over your budget needs. What we would compare it to is other committees, and I will tell you, yeah, they get at least $500, sometimes a little bit more for events. And I think, we just didn't get a budget this year. It's fine. We're taking a budget amendment to the council in February. So I think what Tony said to you, CJ, was submit a budget and we'll get it approved in February. But I think we just want to make sure you're in line with some of the other committees that do have budgets and do events. But if you want to shoot me an email, we can look at it and you can let us know what you're thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And then also the Star Guide that one year. That was unusual. Yeah, it was a big purchase item. But we did say,
I think about, up to 1,500 probably is in the ballpark of reasonable. There has been inflation, so for some reason it was a little bit higher. I think we would understand. Also, some other committees do have speaker honorariums. I think I saw one that was around like $300. I think you're getting them for free, which is great, but I just want to throw it out there. And then, yeah, certainly for advertising, we can also help. We have a newsletter, we have social media, so we will help with that.
and also the band did not give me a dollar price, but I'm assuming that there's going to be some type of fee for that. So I asked him, to talk to the other band members to get us a number. But I told them that it was a town event. So they said that, usually they charge less for that. So we'll see what dollar number they give us. We'll see. Okay.
Another idea with the band is to try to route them through PV Palooza.
Mhm.
PV Palooza does, as you know,
Right, as a nonprofit, right.
Yeah, and they're a nonprofit and they would know how to facilitate an in-kind donation.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. So if you know John Badger, you could
Mhm.
reach out to him and see how he does that. And he
Okay.
certainly would know what's reasonable. And then, how you work the in-kind donation.
Okay.
But we do have a confirmation from the band.
From the main band member, but I think he's probably, we're gonna win at least 2 or 3 of the band members. So I think he was just trying to get the confirmation from the other people. But I talked to him twice in person and then I texted him again saying, okay, do we have confirmation for this date? I'm just waiting to hear back from that. But
Okay.
I'm pretty optimistic about it. They're just over in Santa Cruz.
Okay. And next we have our organization outreach status. So Bonnie has talked about the Bay Area Lyme Foundation confirmed, but Santa Clara Bird Alliance and Post have said yes, but they haven't confirmed yet. Have we talked to them about what to bring to this event?
So you said Post was from Lyme and then the others. Okay. So Lyme confirmed. Got it. How many tables do we have that we can set up for these organizations that are the town tables?
Lots of
Okay.
tables.
I know there are lots of round tables. So there are also the rectangular somewhere.
I'm not positive, but I know we have a handful of them.
Okay.
But if it would help, after this meeting, we could go look.
and do a
Yeah,
count.
yeah. I can
be
show
cool.
you where we keep the storage stuff if you want to go over there.
Awesome.
And then Bonnie, did any of the organizations who you talked to talk about bringing live animals or plants? Live animal, okay.
I tried finding contact information for the bat lady and I could not find anything. I know that somebody talked about a bat lady. I found an article about a bat lady who had passed away, but it didn't even look like the same one. So does anyone have any more like details of the?
David is online right now.
David, do you have any more details for me of the bat lady? Because I was not able to find contact information for a specific local bat lady.
Oh, I was not the bat lady person. I volunteered, or Sue volunteered, a raptor. Valerie Baldwin used to have captive raptors, and she would have been happy to do it, but she's gone off to stay in the terraces and has given up all her birds. She does have another plausible person, and I can send you his number, but she said he will, would probably want some kind of, I don't know what you call it, honorarium or donation or whatever to do it. So I didn't get very far.
So the other person would want compensation, which
Okay,
Yeah, I think she thought so. So I didn't push it past that because I know budgets are tight, or I'm happy to send you his phone number and see what there is to see. But as far as Valerie, who would have been super happy to do it, she's had to move on to a kind of senior home place and give up her birds.
would you be able to send that number to CJ and then he can reach out to us and we can contact them?
If I know who, I'm not sure I have an address for CJ, but I can certainly forward it to Bonnie, or I don't know, wherever, whatever, or send me an address and I'll forward it to him.
And he said that was another Raptor person.
Yeah, it's a guy that Valerie knows who does this kind of thing uh, on some basis, but she thought he'd want some kind of donation or honorarium to do it, was her only concern.
okay, so if this does work and we can bring in a Raptor person, make sure to, whoever's gonna do it, put it on your list in the table and color it in as green, if we can do that, so that we all know.
And you're resending that table to us
Yeah, I can
all today?
resend it
That'd be
if you
great.
guys would like.
Reed, do you know what we're talking about, or is all of this new to you and we should give you a little summary?
I mean, it's like mostly new to me, to be honest.
Okay, so we decided to do CJ was contacted by the town about doing an event in January to commemorate the mountain lion that was hit over close to town center, and making January a wildlife awareness month for the town. And so our committee is going to have a public event with different tables and learning opportunities to try to gather the town together for different items of nature awareness. So if you have any ideas of different things you would be interested in contributing to that, but for example, Emily is really fascinated with animal skulls and bones. We were going to try to get a collection from around town. I don't know how we're going to do this legally, because there used to be a town collection of skulls and bones that I believe was disposed of. But for example, she's going to have hopefully a table with different bones to be able to, have kids kind of engage with. And then also having other local organizations that are related with science and nature. So if you have any ideas of other things that might be interesting, the date is going to be in January 25th.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely think about it. Thank you.
Okay, so I did contact Mary, and as of right now, she found an organization that could possibly bring.
Mary just
Here
walked
she
in,
is.
so she's here.
Manifest. Let's see. Why don't you say you were just like talking to $1 million?
Yeah.
See if that, and then it would manifest in our budget.
Yes.
Okay, so you said that you contacted Mary about what? I'm sorry, what was
So
that?
Mary is, let's see, was it yeah,
Great.
they're lined up.
I may be the only person in the audience, but there's no way we can hear her unless she goes to a microphone. Thanks.
Hi, David. You know I'm a veteran, right? This is me. The just saying that Paul Heipel could help with plants or with geology, and Jerry Hearn said he could talk about the San Francisco watershed, and MRSD is willing to give to do a table and bring their stuffed animals and things. So far so good on that, but
When you say stuffed animals, you mean,
yes,
okay.
taxidermy.
Taxidermied animals, got it, instead of.
Yeah.
Do they have any bones and skulls that maybe we could have at our?
You know
bone
who
and skull
really
table?
does that extremely well is EV. And Jerry, Environmental Volunteers, they take their packages. That was actually founded by Mary Payne, who's Ward Payne's wife, who is the founder of Post.
Mhm.
Environmental Volunteers goes into all the schools with bones and different exhibits, and they would be a really good resource for hands-on exhibits if we want to do that. And yeah, well, how you want to get it? I can just text it to.
Well, here, environmental volunteers right now.
Yeah, you've got it. And they have a brand new executive director. They're excited about getting out into the community. They're actually doing a big fundraiser. Unfortunately, they have $1 million grant they're trying to match. by the end of the year. Aside from that, they have nothing on their minds. But yeah, it's a great organization and they have these bundles.
Yeah,
You can pick your topic.
right. This is a public program bundle. That's great.
Yeah, yeah. So it's education in a box.
That's
Awesome.
wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna be sending out the spreadsheet to everyone again right now, in case you guys have lost access to it.
They're in Palo Alto. Never heard of them. That's great. I've never heard of them.
Yeah, Paul Heipel, he's a restoration biologist and geologist. He was on the conservation committee since the beginning of time. Heiple.
HEI.
Ple, yeah.
PLE.
Jerry Hearn, he's excited about doing more with Portola Valley since the manager spoke to him yesterday.
So you mentioned Paul Heipel for doing a watershed talk. but
No, it's Jerry Hearn.
Jerry here. Okay.
He's the
Jerry
San
is the
Francisco watershed,
Okay,
yeah.
got it. Okay. Jerry, how do you spell his last name?
Hearn.
Got it.
Maybe we could get him to talk about fish as a wildlife.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Water.
For all the amphibians over in their pond. Okay. Thank you, Mary.
And Mary, you were talking about how Eleanor, who was the outreach to Mid Peninsula, was it regional open space, MROSD, how to discuss the details of the event, does she still need to know the time, the place, and like the setup? Okay.
Making that direct contact has been a little bit tricky, but I think today, just at the docent party, I got the real person who always comes and got her. I'm going to get a direct connection with her and then we can tell, she does this all the time. She does tables. So,
Okay.
is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm late.
Yeah, no problem. So we're gonna have a bunch of expo tables in the community hall. And the planned time, I believe, is from 3 to 6. The committee members, we should show up at around 1 to set up. And all the organizations should come at maybe 1:30. So if that works.
More than one person has come up with the idea that we should, if there was anybody who could do it, that it would be wonderful to get a collection of the webcams that are in our neighborhoods and get everybody's favorite shots on one video. So you were just showing people's, I don't know how to do it, but more than one person has said, we all in our backyards have these animals running around. And wouldn't it be great if we could capture that footage and make it into a show where the corridors are?
Yeah.
Does anyone know how to stitch together a video? Reed, do you know how to do that? Or Emily?
I know how to. I could work on that.
Maybe we would need like a Dropbox or something for people to put their videos into.
Okay, so if anyone wanted to reach out onto the PV forum, we could possibly ask people for their favorite pictures of wildlife and maybe we'll have a slideshow at the end of the video documentary.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a professional too. Okay. We will try to figure out how to get a Dropbox and post it on the forum to get entries.
Yeah, in a slightly different to do version. Many people have started to pick up like Bird Buddy or some kind of bird camera. I stuck one in our yard just out of curiosity. And I don't, if someone knows, or maybe I can find one, a contact at one of those companies, they're pretty fun. They could put up a monitor or two theoretically, showing the live footage from those bird feeder camera things. This is a reach goal in a sense, but if any of those companies are interested in increasing their market share, they might be interested in doing that. And ours is really lively. So, I could set up a link to it. But they're kind of fun. And that's something people could do to increase awareness of the birds in their yard, which is mostly, frankly, what people see. I mean, the mammals are few and far between in the daytime, and people who know plants already know their plants and they can see them already. So escalating the ability of people to see and showcase birds seems kind of interesting to me.
I think that's a great idea. Do you want to contact them? See if they'd be interested in maybe giving a discount or one that we could raffle off or something like that? Do you want to contact the company for that and see if that's possible?
I'm absolutely willing to. I don't know enough about whether, it'll go into their garbage bin. So if somebody had a personal contact, that'd be better, but I'm certainly happy to
I don't think
harass them.
anybody in the room has a personal contact, so I think
Okay.
you probably
Yep.
would be the person for it.
Yeah, so I'll check it out and see that those are the two, Bird Buddy and Bird Fire, the two I would
And they
try
will
to
love your
contact.
last name and they'll be more likely to donate to you than anybody else in the room.
Yeah, I get actually quite a lot of money that was meant for Stanford, and
Exactly.
I
Just funnel it your way.
yeah, I appreciate that on everybody's behalf.
St. Louis Cardinals. We could go on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks, David.
sure.
And also, David, how's the ticks and safety table going that you were gonna want to try and set up?
Is that
Ew,
through Life Foundation?
Bay Area Lyme Foundation.
Barry Lime? Okay,
Yeah, it was definitely not me.
that was not you. Okay.
No.
That was, do you know who Joe is? Joe Ellis? Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, she and I work together.
Okay.
There were a few more contacts though that we just talked about. And so I think someone needs to be assigned to contact those people.
Well, Mary is contacting the person at MidPen. Paul Heipel. I can reach out to Paul Heipel about the plant table. And then we need someone to reach out to Jerry Hearn for the watershed talk about fish, amphibians. CJ, do you want to reach out to Jerry and I'll reach out to Paul?
Yeah, I could try and reach out to him. I'm also gonna call Peninsula Humane Society. That was the bat rescue team, or a society that rescues wildlife animals, because Darcy could not bring the bat rescue team which rescued the injured bat that we were talking about. So Peninsula Humane Society would be the substitute to that.
Yeah, I'll just clarify the bat. So this is a good lesson. So the bat that had the rabies at the town playground, just, it was rabid and was having a seizure, so
Mhm.
was euthanized. So I'm not quite sure that's the story we want to tell because it's
Right.
kind of a sad outcome. But who responded was just your typical like animal control. Well, I don't want to say animal control, but
Yeah.
animal service to deal with dangerous
Wildlife rehab. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Or an
and they have-
injured animal. Somebody hits a hawk
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and so Peninsula Humane Society has a whole outreach team, and they came to an event this summer, a town music event. So I'd suggest them. The bat rescue workers are probably just your average sort of animals. I don't want animal service workers, and they probably
Mhm.
don't interface as much in terms of outreach with the public.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that that idea
Mhm.
also, I think, spawned this idea of wildlife awareness. I will tell you, having managed that event, I was incredibly nervous that people had touched the rabid bat,
Mm-hmm.
looking at Mary. And so when we were contacted, I was like, oh my gosh, like, do kids know not to touch bats? Because I will tell you, I mean, being at the town center all day, kids run around here and they pick up salamanders, and we have these like,
The frogs.
they try to poke, but they try to poke frogs. And I just think there's an awareness here of, we do live with a lot of wildlife. And if you come upon a wildlife that looks rabid, and again, our report was that the bat was seizing. So I'd like to think that kids know not to poke the bat, but we could have had a pretty serious health outbreak if a bunch of kids had been around the bat and poked it and touched it or tried to pick it up. I mean, it's kind of, you know, I've always heard stories about you see like a dead bird, you know, or an injured bird, you might want to pick it up. But I think in fact, that's the wrong thing to do.
It is. Yeah. Because usually they're just fledglings and you're not
Yeah,
supposed to pick them.
but a rabid bat that could have bitten the child would have had pretty disastrous out.
Yeah.
But the PHS wildlife folks are great to work with, and I would highly encourage you to reach out to them.
And you said you're going to reach out to them, CJ, is that right?
Yes. Could you remind me what their organization was called?
I have no idea.
You don't know? Okay.
Mm-mm.
I will find the email and resend it to you.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Peninsula Humane Society?
But it's their outreach. You
But
said. An outreach department within Midpen.
Within
Peninsula
Peninsula,
Peninsula Humane Society, which is different than Medpen.
Yeah, you know, different than Midpen.
I can reach out to them. And then Brooke, you were talking about the amphibians.
So I thought that if we were to have Jerry Hearn come and talk about watershed, if he were to talk about fish and amphibians. But with,
Okay. Okay, thank you.
As a random comment, a lot of what goes on here is passing back and forth information. And I was gonna put for example, the bird guy in the chat, but you've got chat disabled, which makes sense in some ways if people are gonna hack into it. But it's also a pretty good way to share some of the stuff we've been talking about rather than having to deal with it over a separate channel. So that's just a thought.
I couldn't understand that. Did anybody else understand?
Right. In the meeting, you can enable chat, and that allows people to share chat messages with everybody in the meeting right now. So I can put in the chat the name and phone number, for example, of the bird person.
But then
Otherwise,
somebody has to facilitate that. And I think all of us, whenever we're up here, we don't have facilitated chat, look at the notes that are in it whenever we all don't have a personal computer that's right here. So I think that's a good suggestion, but it's not realistic with what we're all trying to do up here. Does that make sense? So if we were all if it was a regular Zoom conversation, we were all on our individual computers, I think that would be applicable. But in this setup, I don't know if it's helpful. Otherwise, CJ is just having to take notes for things in the chat whenever he's also looking on his computer and trying to hold trying to lead the meeting as well.
well, okay, I sort of get that, but it's pretty common when people want to share stuff during a meeting. So it's your call.
Okay. We could try it. David, are you saying that the Zoom chat right now does not work?
It's disabled, which, you know, it is unlike town council meetings and like mega meetings because nobody really wants to deal with it. But we use it a lot when we have a meeting to do work so that everybody, and it kind of assumes everybody is logged in on Zoom. So I don't know, maybe it wouldn't work for this, but I could share the information I need to give you right now. Otherwise, I don't even know who to send it to.
We're
So,
trying to hit the button and it's not working. So technical difficulties for that. Sorry about that.
Dave, feel free
Okay.
to just send me an email with the information.
Okay,
I will share it.
right.
So CJ, have you reaching out to the Mid-Penn Humane Society Outreach Department for wildlife rehab?
Yes. I could do that. And then I'm pretty sure I got an email from them from Darcy about their main, and then I could try and talk about their outreach if I email them. And then I'll also reach out to Jerry Hearn on the fish and amphibians. And I have Brooke, you on the spreadsheet, reaching out to
Paul Hypo?
Paul Heipel for the plant table. I'm gonna write that down.
And he's also on the Conservation Committee, so I'm assuming oh, he was, okay. Okay. I think I have Junie's contact info, so I can reach out to her and see if she can rope in Nona and or Paul.
And Mary, just to confirm, Eleanor can come with live specimens of plants and animals. I believe, not live, stuffed. Okay,
Consider me.
okay.
Who was that from? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they had a big.
And they, as a nonprofit, don't charge a fee? Or would we need to have a fee worked into our budget? You know, okay. Mm-hmm.
They didn't the last time.
I can tell you the Humane Society is free. And they have budget to do this, so they really do see this as part of their mission. It's not an ask, it's something that's part of their annual budget.
Okay, so I was wondering about our insurance that Darcy said that we needed for this event.
Yes, so the town will handle the insurance policy. We just need the details from you. So what I would like to do is have you come into the town and meet with us. I guess you might have finals next week.
Yeah,
We are around like December 22nd or 23rd, if you have time to come in and meet, and we just can ask you some questions to go over your budget, if you have time.
yeah, I think I'm free that time.
And- okay,
Yeah, I
and
can
then-
email you.
either the town pays for the insurance policy or it's in your budget, but it will be included no matter what. We just need to know some details about the event to get the policy.
And do we need to have that for most events? Because I don't know if we've done that before, whenever we had Star
Ah.
Party or the
Yeah,
bird
it's generally, we have found it's a good idea to get, we only get it a few times a year for bigger events when we think there's going to be a lot of people around, like the town picnic and volunteer appreciation party and things like that. It's just a good idea. If there were live animals, I would say we definitely need it because you just don't know what could happen, but it's just a good idea.
Okay.
We do have insurance in place, but this is like, sort of think of it as like an umbrella policy that would cover any random thing that happens.
Mhm.
Do you need a list of organizations for the additional?
That's a good question. Once,
My guess is
Then
that
we
they
can-
would have their own insurance.
we can talk through it with the team.
Okay.
And we certainly have time, you know, we can get this like in January. It's just good to know
Mhm.
what we're looking at.
I did have extra.
Well, I'm pretty impressed in 1 month time that this has gone from being nothing to being quite a large event. So I think it's promising and exciting.
We need to reel in a few more people.
Yeah.
Emily Rubin is starting work as my intern. She's in a year ahead of you in Woodside, at Woodside. And we work on, so she can probably be there for the event anyway, to help us with the event.
Okay, that would be great.
So you could talk to her at school.
Okay. I have a class with her at school too. We do have some committee-run tables that we're gonna have at our event. And so far, our snake awareness table has been confirmed. I believe it's Brooke and Andy who are running it. We still need to have a coloring table, so we need to get coloring supplies.
I can do that part too.
Okay, that's great.
How about if we have coloring sheets and then some type of, whenever you have a grid, scavenger hunt. Right, a scavenger hunt, what different animals live here in town center, and let's be gentle with them, careful of them. Don't squeeze every frog that you find in the irrigation box.
Okay, and then also if we could find an organization to bring a snake, I'm not sure if that's possible. That
I
was
think
a
maybe we stick
potential
away from live
idea.
animals so we have another, you don't have to go up to the next tax bracket of insurance policies.
Okay. And
That'll be 2027.
and for the movie, Ryan Coffey will be supplying the computer.
The computer, and he'll help with the projector as well.
Okay,
I think we need to determine what, because there is a fee if we wanted to do one of the documentaries that's from the Banff Film Festival. So I think instead we need to look for something that we can show that won't cost $200 or $300 for having to. So if everybody can kind of brainstorm and have some type of, yeah. Okay, great. Bye, Marie.
Okay.
Bye. Maybe if everybody can spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes looking on your different servers for interesting documentaries that might be, with the Banff Film Festival, you have to buy the whole package and you can watch any of those documentaries within 1 week, but you still have to pay that like $284 or whatever it is. So I think instead of doing that, if we can find something interesting, maybe on Netflix, which we already subscribe to, or
do we have YouTube
Discovery or something like that.
potentially?
Maybe YouTube. Yeah. If this, Okay.
Okay.
So if everyone can look and
Yeah, so we're
brainstorm.
looking for- The topics that we're looking for is something that's around the topic of wildlife.
Wildlife awareness, yeah.
Wildlife awareness.
So it could be interactions with wildlife, it could be inspiration, it could be encounters, but with a good ending. Preferably local, like we don't want to have, you know, a documentary about Arctic puffins.
Okay. So that is all that we have for our event that we're gonna have the wildlife awareness on January 25th. If we have time, we can talk about some other activities for 2026. So as of right now, we have the wildlife or wildflower walk in April or May. Youth climate action video competition. Andy wanted to request the reuse of banners. She
Check.
also wanted to, yeah, check about that. And we wanted to have a star party or another bird day or both before the summer sometime. Maybe it might have to be after.
Do we think that the star guides, whenever we did the star party was, I mean, I know that people like getting something. Do we want to, whenever you're meeting with them about the budget, do we want to go ahead and add that $500 that we would need for the star guides if we think we're going to need them, say in the summer or in the fall?
Yeah, possibly.
So you could just add that as another budget item that if we don't use it in 2026, it could just, you know, go back to the town, I suppose. But then at least that way we won't have a star party without a giveaway. I feel like the kids all loved getting something like that.
And then I know that science teachers at local schools offered extra credit for attending these events, so that would be great.
I think that realistically, we said something about a bird day in February or March. I don't think that's realistic with how large this event is becoming in January.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know if we could do another event in only a month or 2 months after that.
I agree. And we could work in similar topics that we would have on the bird day that would like teach about different birds into a table about different types of birds possibly.
Yeah, so realistically, we could probably have the bird walk in spring or maybe early summer. And if we really had time and resources too, we could have the star party in the fall. Does that sound good?
Mhm.
When I talked to Matthew Daughter, who's the executive director for the Bird Alliance in San Valley, he recommended doing it in February or March. Preparation coincident with that, because it would be more interesting.
And do you, and they're willing to lead it the same way that we did the last bird talk? Yeah,
Not responding to me on the table.
yeah. But that could be something that's more spontaneous since we don't need to set up things, get tables at the town center. We could just be like, hey, next month we're doing a bird walk.
It's quite simple to set up.
Right, right. And the last one was a huge success. People loved it.
Would you like to reach out to Matthew for that? Okay.
It would be helpful for me to get the meeting minutes so that I remember what I'm.
And what was the name of that organization?
It's the Santa Clara Valley Bird Alliance. And the executive director is Matthew Daughter.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it on the agenda. Okay. So the meeting was, do I say was
You just say
adjourned?
the next scheduled meeting is,
The next scheduled meeting is February 12th, 2026.
and then just need to make a movement to adjourn.
Yeah, I make a movement to adjourn the meeting unless anyone has anything to say.
5:57.
All right, 5:57 adjournment.
Great. Awesome.